weird in the beginning. I tried going live about 15 minutes ago and had to reset my computer. But anyway, we're gonna partially drop our intro, or drop our intro and then silently. Anyway, and what's weird? So now I've been when I go live, I've been putting my having to put myself up on the screen like this when I drop the intro. Now this time around, it gave me the option of doing it the other way with me not having to put myself in the screen during the intro, but I did it like this anyway, just because we're doing it silently and whatever. We'll start the talking. Just gonna do a little chatting tonight, get into some squatchy business as there's some new reports added to both the Bigfoot mapping project and the BFRO. And I'll go ahead and say my disclaimer now. Yeah, we don't know if all these reports are real or not. We read them, and yeah, we try to just take away any information that we can that's helpful to us pertaining to the topic. And yeah, we get into uh some bogus reports also. We try to identify those and pick them out, and we've seen that they've also deleted some of those reports, so it seems like someone's active and taking care of the Bigfoot mapping project site, although there has been some issues, I guess, with the app. I'm not sure. I don't use the app, and but the website has its own little glitches. We try and bring them up, and tonight there might be a few, so we'll check it out, see what uh, the map's saying, and then we'll also check out the BFRO because they just added a report, like I want to say maybe within the last few hours. So we'll have a look at that, and then there's some other stuff actually. Hillbilly Herb, the homie on the other side of the border up in Canada, sent me something over on Instagram, and it was pertaining to his area. And I think we might just get into that because that could kick things off. Because it has to do with actually one of the sites we check out. So, and this was a cool share. I didn't check out the whole newsreel yet, but we'll have a look at this. Excuse me, and we'll see if anyone joins us tonight. Yeah, I didn't get any notification that we're on live, but it says we're on live. I'm gonna double check here. Oh, all right. That's weird. Anyway, so yeah, I don't see that we're live on the channel, but it says we're live on here. So anyway, we're gonna go with this, and hopefully people are being notified. If not, I guess it's a pre-recorded video. No, it says live right there. I'm telling you, it's always something with this. There we go. Someone to verify that we're live. What's up, T-Bone? Thank you, brother. My man, your man Herb. Yep. So this is from up your way, also, T-Bone. Because no, actually, wait. You're BC, right? I believe you're in BC, and Hillbilly Herb might be in a different location. I don't think he's BC, but although something tells me he is, something else tells me he isn't. Peace to you, T-Bone. Glad you're hanging out with me, bro. It's just you and I for now, which is all good because I like hanging out with you, T-Bone. And we're gonna check out this newsreel that Hillbilly Herb sent me, and it's from your country. So we'll have a look here. Let's see. Here it is. So this is a CTV News. And we're going to have a listen here. Let me pull this up like that. And here it goes. Oh, we need volume.
What may or may not be coming out of hibernation up near Chatham. CTV's Robert Lothian is here. Robert, we're talking about Bigfoot and apparently, quote, credible sightings of the cryptid.
All right. Thank you again, Hillbilly Herb. Hopefully we could summon him. Maybe let's summon him, T-Bone. Hillbilly Herb. Come hang out. Roll one up. Fire it up.
Cryptid up in that neck of the woods. And we are not calling these credible sightings. There are actually experts in the field of Bigfoot that use that label.
Yeah, you're right there, Travis. Yeah. Experts. And these are people who have tracked thousands.
Yes, Travis. Experts. Oh, and there's Patty. Or is it really Patty?
Thousands and thousands of reported sightings right across North America. Now, over the past week, the legend of the Bigfoot has made its way right across Chatham, Kent, with some of these reported Sasquatch sightings. It's not without skeptics who feel there's something hairy about these reports.
Are you familiar with that area, T-Bone? Does that ring a bell? Is there Squatches out there?
Believed to be lurking through these Thamesville woods is the cause of all the chatter in Chatham, Kent.
So I've heard and seen a lot of odd things, but no, Bigfoot has not been one of them, I'm afraid.
US-based Bigfoot mapping project shows 3 reports of the long-storied Bigfoot in this region in the last week.
Yeah. There it is. So they're pulling up the Bigfoot mapping project there. And I think they might interview the dude from the website. I always forget his name, but forgive me, bro. But I know some of my friends know him and are in contact with him, the guy who runs the Bigfoot mapping project, and also Eric from the Bigfoot Museum over in Willow Creek. I have not gotten to speak to him, but I'd love to one day, and hopefully he keeps the website going. We're having fun with it, and yeah, that'd be cool if more people add their reports to it.
I don't really believe it.
I saw something on Facebook as well, and I thought, well, people sound pretty serious about this. Why are they serious about this?
Oh, I think it's silly.
In between the critics, there are believers.
Everything is possible.
Bigfoot is labeled a cryptid, a creature whose existence is disputed, like the Loch Ness Monster or the abominable snowman.
It's easy to refute somebody who thinks every twig snapping is a Bigfoot, right? Like that guy's a tinfoil hat guy. You know, and that's just, there is so much more to the community than that.
This wooded lot is near one of the sightings. Now, the Bigfoot was described as nearly 8 feet tall with cinnamon hair.
So I think that was homeboy from the project. Let's see. Can we rewind right quick? A few seconds. I think they put his, yeah, there it is. Bigfoot Mapping Project creator, Scott Tompkins. Got it. Scott Tompkins. Double T.
Bigfoot, right? Like that guy's a tinfoil hat guy. You know, and that's just, there is so much more to the community than that.
This wooded lot is near one of the sightings. Now, the Bigfoot was described as nearly 8 feet tall with cinnamon hair. Now, despite trying, I haven't been able to see it. And in this case, neither have some of the Bigfoot trackers. So then how do they judge whether a report is credible?
But I do reach out, ask for photos, images, supporting information. So the map and the project is really, hopefully, just the start of the research and the verification and the validation that is going to occur.
I'm sorry to disappoint your viewers, but there probably is not a Sasquatch out there for anyone to go and find.
Teaching in Carleton University's philosophy department, Josh Redstone has taught courses on the philosophy of the paranormal, applying critical thinking to the unproven.
We have a fascination with the unknown, and I think that's just part of our psychology.
Redstone says unbelievable sightings can often be chalked up to the ordinary, like bears, tree stumps, and just tall humans.
So it is possible that you have a hoaxer. It is also possible that because Bigfoot is on the brain, as it were, following the news of one sighting, you're getting people seeing what they believe to be Bigfoot.
Skeptics aside, for believers like Tompkins, there's still a hope for the mysterious and inexplicable Bigfoot.
The fact that it really is emblematic of humans really not knowing everything. I really hope for that.
Even if Chatham Sasquatch isn't real, in Thamesville, it's a reason to smile.
You saw Bigfoot at the end of your walk. What do you think your reaction would be?
Well, there's a big person.
Despite being on opposing sides, both Tompkins and Redstone share a very similar message, and that is to get outside, explore your environment, and just be curious. Travis?
And as we saw there, and as you mentioned in the story, you did not see Bigfoot while you were up there.
Bunnies, birds, squirrels, Travis. Unfortunately, on this expedition, there was no Bigfoot, no Sasquatch.
So we're going to have to send you up again tomorrow, and the next day we're going to have to get to the bottom of this. As he said, this could just be the start of the research, right?
Well, only time will tell, I guess, in this case.
On a serious note, though, like the two experts say, it is nice that this is getting people out there. And it's so interesting how long this folklore of Bigfoot has lasted.
Decades, centuries.
All right, there's that. Thank you again, Hillbilly Herb. I don't know if you knew I was going to share that, but that was a good share, and I appreciate that. Anyone interested, send me stuff like that. And that was fresh. That's from this week. And what's up? Who do we got here? Pyromedic. What's going on? Hey, Dwarf, sitting around a campfire in the middle of the LBL, listening to some great stories. Awesome, man. I know Jess, I believe, from Hellbent Holler is finishing up a documentary out of the LBL right now also. Yeah, no, that's amazing, Pyromedic. We're gonna read a couple reports right now too. Hopefully you'll listen in and hopefully you enjoy. Let's see. Hi and well said. Says T-Bone. Who are you talking to, T-Bone? What's up, Gerald? Life police chase where? Let's see. Oh, all right, Gerald. Give me 1 second, brother. Let's do this. Give me 1 second. I wonder who. Here we go. Darn it. Give me 1 second. Here we go, folks. It has been nonstop out here. Let's see, do we have audio on this?
There's a couple of cars that made their way through the break there, but you're right, Mike. Just a slow go here. He's kind of weaving back and forth. Very difficult to drive the car on the rims. So at this point, eventually the tread is going to come off. It'll be nothing but rim. But the driver there just weaving back and forth, shutting down all the lanes here southbound 405 freeway as he crosses through the interchange here at the 605 freeway. And we'll see what they decide to do. They were talking about trying to pit maneuver on him after they did this before he stopped.
Viewer discretion be advised. He's driving erratically, and we've had some fatal. The past few speed chases have been fatal out here. Actually, earlier today, also there was up in Central California, kind of centrally California, Tulare County, I believe it was. They used the bear claw. This guy, it was like a standoff over eviction notice or something like that, and he wasn't leaving, and actually took the cop out. And yeah, prayers to the cop's family. And he barricaded himself, and they had to use the bear claw. Man, this guy's car is falling apart here. Let's have a listen. Wild past few days out here in Southern California.
Aunt is on this vehicle?
You know, before he blew through that stop, and look at this, he's making a turn here. He might try to go the wrong way. Yep. Okay, this is what he did when he blew through the brake, and he's going back at officers. This is never good. They're going to ram. Okay, he rammed the officers there, Now they're going to come out with guns drawn. We're going to keep a wide shot. They have their guns drawn on him. He's reaching back into the car. That's never good. He pulled something out. He's going after the officer there.
Oh, my
and he's going to
gosh.
fight with the officer. Wow, look at that. All the officers are going to come on him. They're going to get him in custody here. But what a dangerous situation for those CHP officers. This man being very aggressive, ramming those officers, and then coming at him. It looked like he had something in his hand, but the officers did not fire their weapons. It didn't look like they fired their weapons. So at this point, it looks like they have about 6 officers from the CHP on him. But that driver just making that U-turn and just going right at him, ramming those officers' vehicles.
I will tell you, those officers showed remarkable constraint there. Number one, he's using his vehicle as a deadly weapon. So you've got assault with a deadly weapon with the vehicle. On top of that, he gets out of the car with something in his hand, bends down. All of these things, you would typically see an officer open fire in self-defense. At that point, he wasn't showing his hands. And then to come at the officer with something in his hand, still, they were able to bring him into custody. We did not see, from our vantage point, it didn't look like any shots were fired, any less lethal, nothing.
Mm-hmm. And to see that he got out of the car and even reached back into the car. Right. I mean, that was really scary right there, because as an officer, usually you just assume he's reaching back in for a gun or some sort of weapon, and then goes right after that, after the officers. They all came around and brought him down to the ground. Looks like they now have things under control. And
very, very lucky. I was just mentioning the past couple days being very deadly. And man, I thought they were going to light him up. Wow.
Jammed his vehicle into the CHP officer's vehicle, gets out of the car, reaches back in, goes at them with something in his hand. We saw it was tossed off to the left portion of the screen there, and then all the officers swarmed around and brought him down. So hopefully this now will come to just a safe and peaceful ending.
Yeah, you're looking at 7 to 8 CHP officers required to bring the suspect into custody, and you can bet this video will be replayed and used as a case study in restraint for CHP officers and law enforcement across the region. Gil Davis in Sky 5, thank you. We move on tonight here at 11 to breaking news in West Hollywood, where police are investigating a shooting.
Yeah, they say that the victim was standing on a balcony when they...
There's that. Yep. Plenty of pew-pewing. All right. Thank you, Gerald. That was awesome. And let's see. We just played a newsreel from... Let me stop sharing. We just played a newsreel from a share from Hillbilly Herb, and it was from up in his area. And they brought up the Bigfoot mapping project, and this is up in Canada. And greetings and welcome, Maya Starfire. We're going to read a couple Bigfoot reports really quick. We just got a little bit of action there thanks to Gerald. That's how it happens, y'all. We're live here, and we got a live speed chase. And the past couple days, so let me catch you up on what's been happening. So I think it was yesterday on my way to work. I'm on the freeway, and from this part of the freeway, you can see like downtown off to the right, and it's 710, which will take you to Long Beach, where they found that Easter egg, the hunt. They found a skull the other day. I haven't heard any word about that. And so I'm on the freeway right there, and I see a bunch of choppers, and the ghetto bird is a bunch of news choppers, and you can see the police chopper. And it's kind of by where the shop is. And from a distance, I'm like, oh, man, all right, something's popping off. And I get to the shop, and sure enough, there's like undercover cops flying by with sirens. And so I'm trying to find out what's going on. I'm checking Citizen. I can't find out anything. So I'm opening up the shop. And eventually, I think on YouTube, I think I noticed something. And as soon as that's when I went live. I didn't even get a chance to set up the studio inside the shop. I just set up the laptop, went live, and they had already ended the pursuit. But the pursuit ended a few blocks from the shop, actually, because the freeway runs behind our shop. And there's a few exits after our shop that will spit you out onto Olympic Boulevard, which that's the street we're on. It's a main street. And I guess they exited Downey, which is a curvy exit. It's almost like it's a roundabout, I guess, almost. And they ended up crashing with one of the police units and ended up in a shootout. One of the suspects ended up pew-pewing, and the cops pew-pewed back, and they ended up taking them out. And there was two of them, so it was crazy. So that guy ended up passing right there. And then a little while later, over on our side of Olympic, a few blocks down, a homeless man apparently attacked some older man at the bus stop. And Gerald, you know the bus stop. You know, remember that plaque that we showed? There's a plaque right there that used to. There's a car dealership, and the plaque is actually there was no plaque. It was actually like the base where this plaque is supposed to be, and that's supposed to show the furthest east part of the old Los Angeles. And I remember we did a live stream checking that out, and then Gerald's actually sent me a picture of the plaque because the plaque is gone. People have been stealing everything. I'm sure the plaque was probably made out of copper or something, brass or something. And that's probably why they took it. But anyway, that they taped all that area off all the way down Indiana, which is the two main streets that cross right there. And the man that got attacked, it was by a homeless dude, and he was hitting him with something that I couldn't get details on that. It could have been a bottle or some sort of object. Anyway, that guy ended up hurt, and he took off down the street and ended up passing away inside of it's like a hardware store. So that turned into a homicide investigation. And yeah, I did a few live streams out there. I switched it over to members only. But yeah, that was just some wild stuff yesterday. And then on top of that, there was some other stuff happening in Riverside. We seen that whole situation with it was a speed chase, and they tried to deploy the grappler, and that guy ended up smashing out against the wall, and they brought the bear claws also, and it was y'all seen, I don't know, who was there, y'all seen that? We were hanging out and we checked that out. And anyway, I guess they say that guy ended up taking himself out, which who knows? I think the crash probably would have just taken him out. But yeah, that's what they said about that. So wild day yesterday, and it continues tonight. Yeah, the speed chases are back, and we got P&W Rush is back up in the chat too. So what is up? Let's get into this. All right. So new added Bigfoot reports. Again, we played a newsreel shared by Hillbilly Herb, and it's about pretty close to his area, he said. And they brought up the Bigfoot mapping project on there. And because there's been a rash of reports out of Canada, and we've been covering those and been wondering if like this is like another flat thing that has been going on. And I haven't heard any updates on the Ohio situation. At least I don't think. But what is interesting is this is like as the Squatch flies. We're gonna drop the Squatch a little bit. So here's Ohio down here, and this is where all the flap and all that was happening. It's kind of like northeastern Ohio, right? So right across Lake Erie is where we have all these, and this is the province of Ontario. We got all these reports. So we've read a lot of these. A lot of them have turned orange now. I see this one still has a little bit of green hue to it, but there's been 1, 2, 3 reports added. And some of them, they're not all recent reports, although some have, and they've been like, I think it started on the 4th, and then it was like a report on the 5th. Getting a text that it's 11:11, y'all. Cheers. Funny, I got a text right at 11:11 also. Um, some of them have been throwback reports, but if you drop the Squatch, you see there's some blue reports there, which mean they're older reports. And what I noticed today also, because I read a report last night, and it was from up in these parts over here, up in this part. And I want to say it might be this report here. Let me drop the Squatch. Nope. We read that one. But I did pre-record a short video. I didn't post it. I was going to post it today, but I read it and I don't see it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. Maybe this one's it. I'm gonna have a quick peek at this. Let's see. This is 4/9/26, 4:20 p.m. And let's just go ahead and kick it off with this one, because that means that's today. And what's interesting, if that's today's report, there is a little bit of a green hue around this one too, but it makes me wonder why it's orange. And I was going to say there was this pre-recorded video, that report that was last night that I did that report was green, and then earlier this morning when I checked it, it had turned orange right away too. And I don't think it's supposed to turn colors till after a few days. I think orange is like is it a week? And then the blue might be 10 days. It tells you somewhere up here. There's these different boxes you could click here. And I think even in the report too, when you click it, it should be able to give you, I think sometimes it gives you more information, maybe up here. But anyway, 4/9/26, that's today. 4:20, I wonder what they were doing. It said 8-footer, and it said it did vocalize. And too bad I don't have the studio set up, so no sound effects. Maybe someone in the chat could vocalize for us. It says, I was walking back to my cabin late at night, and the only light was this really faint street light up the road. I saw something moving in the distance, so I stopped and looked. It was this huge dark figure crossing the road. And the weirdest part was it crossed with the whole road in only 4 steps. Even from where I was standing, it looked way too big to be a person, really tall and broad with long arms. It stopped for a second under the faint light and then went off into the woods. After it disappeared, I turned around and kept walking back the way I came. A minute or two later, I heard knocking sounds coming from the woods, like something hitting a tree, and then a couple strange screeches. That's when it really got to me, because it sounded like whatever I saw was still out there. And I honestly just wanted to get back inside as fast as I could. And yes, they heard wood knocks. It says black or very dark brown. Interesting. And see, I don't see any other. Oh, yeah, there is a few other Bigfoots up here. So maybe some older reports, or maybe some reports referring to the BFRO or some other sites, and or books. Also, they refer to books. But usually when the Bigfoots are read, it'll be like a more serious report. But nothing really nearby there. And so we're going to zoom back out of here and go ahead and get to these green reports while they're still on there, because we have noticed that they have taken reports out while we're still live. And this says 3/9/26, so another one from today. And this is in a completely different part of Ontario. I want to say, I think that one up there we just read is Ontario still. So this says 3/9/26, 8.5-footer. And it says, my girlfriend and were my GF and were driving along Arcana Road to pick up her mom for a treatment at a London hospital. As I turned to talk to my GF or girlfriend there, out her window in the distance at the edge of the forest area, I saw a very tall figure against the tree line. I knew it wasn't a human by comparison to the trees. Before I could say anything to her, it disappeared back into the trees. I brushed it off, not knowing if it was seeing things or, and it says ear, IR, or not, but I know I saw something and I know it wasn't a person, not that size in comparison to the trees. This all farm country here, there's nothing else in this area that compares to what I saw. I just haven't been able to shake the feeling that I saw something that day. I know I saw something that was very tall, not on all fours, but on two legs. We're not known for bears. Most animals around here are quite small. It was in the middle of nowhere. No reason for anyone to be out there in the area walking around. And again, in comparison to the trees, it was at least 8 feet. And here's some more details here. Let's get into it. I'm a huge nature lover. And yes, I do believe very much there are things in this world we have yet to discover, some of which are right in front of our noses, but we are all too often distracted by life that we don't notice. This area is known for coyotes mainly, or maybe a big cat. The rest are small woodland creatures or farm animals. This was definitely on two legs and maybe even taller than 8 feet, as we were at a good distance away. Whatever it was big, grayish fur, and didn't stay in the clearing very long. Maybe just the presence of our car going by chased it or chasing it back into cover. It wasn't a terrifying experience for me. It was interesting because I've always been interested in the possible existence of Bigfoot. I have always wished and wanted to explore and investigate the possibility of them, to find evidence without disturbing or harming them so we know the truth and can maybe better protect them and people. I think the idea of another human like creature on this planet is great. Wow, this is a long one. At least 8 feet tall. Keep emphasizing on that. It's interesting. Very wide stance, covered in what looked like gray fur with possible hints of a darker color blended in. The trees just behind it, 30, 40 feet high or more, and this animal was big, standing in the foreground in front of them. Definitely standing and walking on two legs. Yes, we got it. Good, good details there. Hard to tell we were driving and it was at a distance and only seconds, but definitely gray colored with possibly a mix of color. Damn, I need a drink after that one. And yeah, that's it on that. So we're gonna head north of that. And again, if you haven't checked out these other reports and you're into this type of stuff, I recommend you checking it out. And if you want me to read them to you, check out our previous live streams. We've been covering all these reports here. And I'm actually going to drop the Squatch on this one because this one kind of has a green hue behind it. So it's possible it's another new one that we haven't read. So this is 4-7. So if it's a 4-7, we probably read it the other day. Oh yeah, that's good. I needed that. Cheers. Yeah, I think we probably read this. And a lot of these reports, out of these latest Canadian reports, a lot of them talk about them being on the wood line. So let's head a little further north. And interesting, these are along almost on the somewhat, I guess, kind of by the coast. So this is a throwback. Nope, not quite a throwback. Throwback to last year. 10/7/25, 636, not 640, and 7 feet high. No vocalization, and it says just got done ATVing and decided to walk down the old cemetery. I went down the trail with my flashlight and saw a large black figure just off to the right of the trail. I saw it and ran back to the start of the trail and started my ATV and drove off and parked in the park to comprehend what I had just seen. Oh, whoa. And yeah, for those that, are interested in cemeteries, ghost hunting and stuff like that, that is a thing. And this one said an old cemetery with Bigfoot reports and also Dogman, right? Of course, you expect anything at a cemetery, anything spooky. But yeah, a lot of Bigfoot reports around cemeteries, which is interesting. That was an interesting one there. Let's drop the Squatch to see what towns are nearby or to see if there's any other reports. Like this one's aquatic. The Squatch is like swimming back to shore there. Thetford, not Medford or Dreadford. All right, let's head north. Come on. Ripley, believe it or not. So that looks like the nearest town there. No other Squatches in this area. And so we're going to head north again. Kind of northeast a bit, it looks like. Here we go. Boom. And thank you for joining and hanging out tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying these Bigfoot reports. These are recently submitted to the mapping project here. And what was the creator? They brought up the creator also. So earlier in the stream, we started off with the newsreel shared by Hillbilly Herb. And it was from his area. And they brought up the Bigfoot mapping project. They actually interviewed the creator of the Bigfoot mapping project, which we're using here now. And what was his name again, y'all? It was Scott. What was it? T-Bone. I think it was only T-Bone and I at the time. Maybe some of you were lurking, but who knows? I got to download his last name again, but I remember Scott. And it's Scott with 2 T's. Cottonmouth. All right, this one's 11/5/25. It's not too bad. It's last year, ending of last year. 11/5/25, 1:10 p.m. Another 7-footer, no vocalization. Was exploring the bush looking for potential hunting spots when I noticed movement about 500 to 600 meters away. At first, I thought it was a deer or a moose. It was standing upright. The moment I pointed and out loud said, "What's that?" to my brother, it turned and disappeared into a forest. See, there he goes, dipping into the woods again. Yeah, best cover, huh? This was the point I could make out a distinction in the back color was not a black as the rest of it. So I don't know. That was weird. So maybe he meant the back color was not as black as the rest of it. Huh. The moment of spotting it, at a distance and it turning to flee lasted 3 to 4 seconds roughly. There was light dusting off, snow mixing with the fall leaves on the ground. I tried to locate the spot. It was unsuccessfully. Weird weight, weird wording there. It was tall, 7 to 8 feet estimate, black body with a brownish back. I've never heard that before. So yeah, the back of it was a different color. Walking on 2 feet, distinctly heard me, then fled. So black with a brownish back. That's different. And this one says 1 of 2. So let's see. When you click that, yeah, reported in the last 10 days. And so those are the latest ones. And I want to say one of these 2 blue ones might be the one I read last night. So let's see here. That's a throwback. And I want to say this is going to be it. Oh no, we read this one. I talked about the OPP. And I remember mentioning Montreal. How do you pronounce it? Montreal. And all right. So this is the one I read last night and pre-recorded. So I'll go ahead and read this again. So it's weird that it's color blue because when I seen it, it was green. So just a little heads up. And it could be me tripping, but I'm pretty positive that that's why I had pre-recorded it, because I didn't go live last night and it was the latest report added to the site before finding these last 3 reports we just read. So, and this one's a throwback, 2/28/81, 3:30 a.m. There's no height description. It did not vocalize. And it says I drove the salt/sander for the ministry at Marathon, Ontario, 1981. Drove the highway every day. Never saw tracks like this. Snow was at least 5 feet deep that year. Tracks were in almost a straight line. And we hear that a lot, right? That's one thing we look for when you're looking at Bigfoot tracks or looking for Bigfoot tracks. And they talk about that tightrope walk. And yeah, I think it's a weird feature. And I do look for that. But now with everything coming up into question now, a lot of the stuff that has been taught and learned about Bigfoot, with everything happening, the PG film and everything, yeah, a lot of things are coming into question. So do they really do that? I think possibly. I think there's something to that tightrope walk. What do you think? So let's see here. It says almost in a straight line, about 3 feet apart, 24 inches long in the powdery snow. I could not see the bottom of the track because it went so deep. What blew my mind was you could not tell the direction of travel, or not tell direction of travel. Whatever it was lifted its foot straight up and down. No human or animal can do this in 5 feet of snow. I climbed over the top of the snow, plowed. Let's see. I climbed over the top of the plowed snow about 7 feet tall, and looked down at the 20 tracks or so leading to the tree line. I was 21 years old at the time. And yes, he saw footprints, 24-inch prints in 5 feet of snow. What do you think? Pretty close to the coast there also, which is interesting. That's Lake Superior there. So what's going on here in Ontario or Canada? Is someone deciding just to submit reports, or maybe someone seen the newsreel we played earlier and decided to share their reports? Do we have a flap going on here? You know, we noticed that, and I got to start looking at the dates again and see when it started, because I think it was on the 4th, then it went to the 5th, 6th, 7th, and now we're getting reports on the 9th. I think there was a report on the 8th. I mean, look at this. It's all riddled right here. And again, some of them are old. And I know Ontario is known for activity. Damn. Yeah, what's happening, Ontario? And again, very close to the flap, the recent flap down here in Ohio. And yeah, there you have it. We'll go ahead and refresh this, see if anything comes in while we're at it. And I'll jump in the chat in a second just to see what's going on there. Sorry, I've been reading. Try not to choke either, but my throat's really dry. It's the jaws, son. It's the jaws. I just need to hydrate, and I got plenty of hydration here. Yeah, I don't see anything else added. There was something added to Mali, which is another default. A lot of reports happen to pop up here in Africa, and out of all countries, Mali for some reason. And yeah, as you can see here, there's a report added, but not much information. We had one out of Texas like this the other day too, and it just didn't say much. It was 4/9. This one says 4/9/26, 5:48 p.m. 7 feet 4 inches, male, and it left footprints, and that's it. They didn't leave any details. No idea where it's really from. I don't think it's from Mali, so just a heads up. And yeah, there's that. So tonight also added, we're gonna hop on over to the BFRO. And yes, we know who runs this site. We're still waiting up on the new there's gonna be a new website coming out. We've talked about it. Someone's coming up with a new website, and they already have some pretty good data, and they're going to be adding that data to the website with a possible interactive map as well. So I'll keep y'all posted as soon as I find out anything. You know, I'll be sharing it with you all here. Uh-oh. Sally, get well soon. Let's see. Have a good vibes, brother. Squatch and friends in the hospital healing from kidney surgery a few hours ago, watching your lives. Sally Moon, healing vibes to you. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll say an extra little prayer for you and for you to get well soon. We appreciate your support. And yeah, over similar to your Trinidad sighting across 101 Dwarf. Yeah. Yep. The one I read earlier where it just went across and the yep. So let's see. Let's check out this BFRO report. Recently added reports. And there it is, folks. They added a new one. And it's out of British Columbia. So we're still staying in Canada here, which is interesting. So moving to the left coast of Canada, it says September 2009. So this is a throwback. British Columbia Class B boaters report tree pushover and scream 40 miles northwest of Campbell River. Let's get into it. So report 8009, Class B, submitted by witness Richard Radford on Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. So just submitted. And it says boaters report tree pushover and scream 40 miles northwest of Campbell River, 2009, summer, September 10th, British Columbia, Canada. And there are the coordinates for those that like to geek out on that. It says GPS position of witnesses when they heard the tree pushover sound. And it says from Campbell River, go north through Discovery Passage until it turns into Johnstone Strait. Take a left turn, continue to Chancellor Channel, and turn right. Take the first left into Wellbore Channel through Whirlpool Rapids. Whoa, feel like I'm getting spun here. Then the first right into Forward Harbor. Nearest town is Sayward on Vancouver Island, Sasquatch Island. Nearest road, they can't build roads there. The mountains are too high and the water too deep. Observed. We anchored our boat in Forward Harbor in the same area known as Douglas Bay on September 10th, 2009. There is an isthmus that leads over the Bessborough Bay through a low area between two higher areas of the mainland. The day was still, no wind. The forest was very quiet, possibly due to no wind. While sitting on a log on the shore looking out over Bessborough Bay, my wife and I, heard a series of 3 or 4 sharp cracks, not unlike rifle fire, but more like the sound of a sizable tree branch being snapped. The sound didn't have any distinctive echo or a high caliber rifle, which I would recognize as a lifetime shooting sports participant and hunter. Following the snapping sounds, there was a sound of a tree falling over. It started with the small crackling sounds and ended with the tree hitting the ground. Remember, no wind. We commented this and decided to return to the boat. The hiker over the isthmus was uneventful and nothing out of the ordinary stood out. Later that night, as we were going to bed after stargazing from the inside of the boat cabin, we heard a loud and disturbing scream. This immediately dog, set off the dog, and we missed any subsequent sounds. This past year, I became aware of your organization. I learned about alleged Sasquatch behavior like snapping tree limbs, pushing trees over, and screaming. This brought back the memory of this incident, and I looked it up in the boat's log for book or let's see. I looked it up in the boat's log book for date and details. I hadn't remembered the sharp snapping sounds that preceded the tree falling. Recently, I listened back to a recording of the Michigan Scream. I'm not familiar with that one. Anyone know the Michigan Scream? And the hair stood up on the back of my neck. It's what we heard that night. Just as a test, I queued it up and gave my wife earphones to listen and played it. Her eyes got wide and she just said, Forward Harbor. That confirmed it for me. So there's my story. Richard Radford. Also noticed, forest seemed very quiet, no wind. This all took place 16 years ago. So further details are sketchy. Right on. Other witness, total of 2, observing nature. Other stories, I know nothing directly of other incidents. And time and conditions, tree falling happened in late afternoon, probably about 4 to 5. It's interesting. The scream happened after dark, probably close to 10. Environment is lowland forest between 2 higher elevations. And there's the follow-up investigation there by Mr. Eminem. And there it is. Michelle, what's up? How you doing? Am I putting everyone to bed already? Yeah, there you have it. So I brought up the Ohio flap, and there is again, we'll bring this up. I remember someone else bringing this up, and I think this is the biggest Bigfoot conference out there, right? It's the Ohio Bigfoot Conference 2026, May 2nd, 2026. Yep, Salt Fork State Park. And they're very fond of Bigfoot, Bigfoot out there. Starting to stutter. And yeah, so I think Steve Coles is going to be speaking, Alex Pedikov, and I don't know who else is going to be on that lineup. Should be good. But yeah, very interesting that this Ohio flap just happening, like last month or so. And then we have this coming up in May. Something to think about. And so if y'all are interested, the newsreel we seen earlier, let's see if I could rewind this. You could either rewind the stream or look this up. Look, see right there, they brought up the Bigfoot. I'm just trying to get you the CTV News Windsor. Let's see. That's the site there. And then what else we got? Yeah, I think that's about it as far as the reports. We'll have a little look at Jackie before we head on out of here. Still haven't gotten to see the little eaglets. But I know that they're, oh yeah, she's knocked out now. Let's have a little, there we go. There she is. Hello, Jackie. Yeah, we got the 1111s. Looks like chat kind of, oh, there we go. Chat kind of froze up. Probably put everyone to bed, which is the idea. This is your late night Bigfoot report with Bigfoot Dwarf. Sweet dreams, everyone. And again, we'll be open tomorrow. Yeah, the shop will be open. Yeah, a lot calmer around the shop today, thank goodness. And tap in with us. Come say what's up to your boy. Again, if you appreciate and like these reports, drop me a comment. Let me know. And y'all know what to do. Hit those thumbs up. Let's see, is the camera gonna? Come on, camera. There we go. Set off some fireworks. Hopefully, we don't set us. Good night, everyone. This is my Starfire. Much love to you, my Starfire, everyone. Here you go, some hearts. Y'all be safe out there. And as soon as more reports come in, we'll bring them to you. And again, if you have a report, yeah. Shoot me an email. Pew me an email.